Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is Thursday, July 1st, 2021. Welcome to July. My name is Aubrey and this is my astrological outlook for the day. And here we are. We have arrived. The exact activation of Mars opposing Saturn in Aquarius is happening today. We are online in terms of this activation. You know, we've been talking about this for a while. We've been prepping for this activation that's happening today, leading through the rest of the weekend. You know, I have already said so much about these energetics, about, you know, the significance of them, the tension and the potentially like explosive events that they may trigger in our lives individually and collectively. And if you really want to know how these energetics are likely to be playing out for you in your own life, I made a series of videos sign by sign where I talk about how each sign is most likely going to be impacted by the energetics as they're hitting based on the position of the houses that are being impacted for each sign. And today, you know, I really want to talk about just the overall nature of what I feel like this energetic is saying to us. And, you know, this is actually my second time making this video today. I just made this video and I did this whole long recording talking about, you know, all of the aspects and the Sabian symbols and what they mean and the energetics. And then when I got done and thought about everything I just said, I realized, like, you know, that can all be boiled down into some really like simplified and basic concepts. And you know, we've been talking about this aspect for a long time. It's been in like the timing that it's happening in the context of everything and transitioning into the age of Aquarius and from the fifth sun to the sixth sun according to ancient prophecies, and you know, just the contentiousness and the friction and the potential consequences of this activation and what it could mean for us individually and collectively, the things that we might see as a result of these planetary alignments triggering individual and collective events and ongoings today. You know, we don't really know what the nature of this is going to be because Uranus is involved. And as things are going on, you know, just because of the conflict and the difficulty that's indicated through the planets themselves and also through the positioning of the planets, you know, the opposition and this square. Ultimately, squares are always about creating change and creating an evolution, having a breakthrough in some type of a way. And that really is what's going on here. And as I, you know, look at these energetics and look at the Sabian symbols and the context of it all, it really can be summarized down into essentially like some very simple and basic themes. And that really is heat and pressure make diamonds. And that process happens through alchemy, changing something from a lower form into a higher form, from taking, you know, a rock and putting it under so much heat and pressure that it becomes a diamond. And at the bottom line, that really is what's happening with this activation today, with these energetics. Because think about it. Saturn rules the earth. Saturn rules pressure. Mars is heat. Mars is in Leo. Saturn in Aquarius retrograde, the earth, the pressure, holding things back, you know, putting, you know, a lid on them and really keeping things contained, opposing Mars in Leo, pure heat and fire and passion. Pressure and heat make diamonds, and this is done through the process of alchemy, like I said. Interesting. CHIRON for this activation today, Mars is at 13 degrees of Leo, Saturn is at 13 degrees of Aquarius. CHIRON, the wounded healer teacher archetype planet that rules alchemy, the hero's journey, transforming lead into gold, the base, like the process of metamorphosizing one's like original form into something that's so much greater and more transcended, and going from, you know, being at the whims of reality in the world to mastering one's own reality in the world. The hero's journey, the process of alchemy, alchemization. That is how lead is turned into gold. That is how rocks are turned into precious stones and diamonds. And Chiron is at 13 degrees of Aries today for this activation. 13 Aries, 13 Mars, 13 Aquarius. Saturn, the pressure, is an exact sextile to Chiron, the alchemizing energy. Mars, the heat, the fire, is an exact trine to Chiron, the alchemizing energy. We're talking about the polarities of Aquarius and Leo. Aquarius and Leo are all about the overall whole, the overall good, the collective of humanity, Aquarius, and the rulership, the ones on top, the ability to gain notoriety and fame and prestige through one's own talents and ability and magnetism and charisma and inner creative personal potential, rising to a level of power. These are the dynamics of Aquarius and Leo. And so with Saturn, if we think about it, with Saturn being in Aquarius right now, Saturn is the pressure. Saturn holds things back and stifles, it puts pressure on things. It restricts, it frustrates, it stifles growth, and it limits things. But it's because it wants to create solid foundations that can endure long term into the future and provide like ultimate fulfillment. Saturn is in Aquarius. The people, the collective, are being stifled and held back right now. And Saturn is also rules authority figures. By an authority, a long-term establishment, a control mechanism that has been in place for a long period of time, exerting some type of limitation or control or frustrating the collective's ability to awaken, Aquarius, and to come into their own personal, authentic expression that's completely liberated and free. Uranus, Aquarius, those themes. So that is what we know is transpiring while we have Saturn in Aquarius really putting the pressure on us and asking us to work really, really hard as a collective whole to establish what we're going to build collectively going forward, and to make sure that it's something that will withstand the test of time and that it will truly be beneficial for the whole and for the overall good. We're being held back by Saturn. The collective is being stifled by authority right now, and this is juxtaposed to Mars in Leo. Now, this also can, this can be manifest in a few different ways. With Mars and Leo, we also, we are being inspired and motivated to take action to liberate ourselves from anything that we feel is holding us back or stifling our personal self-expression or stifling our heart and our soul and what we love and our ability to be free and liberated to experience the joy and the pleasure and the enthusiasm and just the overall, like I said, the joy in life, as we are on this mission to reestablish our authenticity, Aquarius. And also we have to remember the square with Uranus. Uranus is also asking us to really come back into authenticity in terms of reestablishing our understanding and our relationship to value, what we find value in, the value that we hold within ourselves, and how that translates out into the material security and comforts and our financial circumstances and situations and what we build and what we work on. Generally, finances and relationships undergoing major transformations right now as we are all going through this internal process of coming back into personal authenticity and being liberated to genuinely be ourselves. And so these are kind of the two dynamics that are at play with these planets. Mars and Leo really wanting to defend the ability of the heart and the soul to be free to express and to protect the children and to protect personal authenticity and creative self-expression and pleasure and fun and the heart. And Saturn in Aquarius holding back the people from being able to do this. Now, another way that this energetic can play out is, remember, Mars also rules the ruling class, and Mars also rules aggression and, war and battle. And so during this time, we may also, under this dynamic, as another way of this polarity manifesting, experience some type of attack or aggression coming from leadership, coming from rulers, coming from a ruling class who is really like working against the Aquarian, the collective putting in the work to awaken. Saturn in Aquarius is also working hard to have a collective awakening and realign with a groundwork that is beneficial to the long-term sustenance and fulfillment of the overall group, the overall whole. Creating a baseline foundation for us to build on going forward in Aquarius, Saturn. So those are kind of the two ways that these energetics could kind of be playing out collectively, like people feeling very emotional and passionate about defending their loyalties, their pride, their passions, their love, and also people who are emblematic of the Leo theme, celebrities, rulers, leaders, kings, queens, these Leo-oriented people exerting some type of force or aggression or spontaneous heated action against the people in their efforts, in their diligent striving towards creating this foundation based in awakening to take them forward and carry them forward into this new reality, to help build. Saturn is the builder, building this new reality. And I need to bring it back ultimately to this alchemization process though, because really, like, I don't feel like I need to go on and say too much else about the energetics, the specific energetics that we're dealing with, because I've talked so much about this already. And again, if you want to see how this is like impacting you personally in your chart, you can check out the videos. I'll put them in the description box that I did for the 12 signs. But we need to talk about something. The Sabian symbol where the sun is today at the exact moment of this activation, because when I did the chart for today, I looked at the moment that the opposition from Mars to Saturn would be exact, and that's about 9 this morning. So just know we're coming in hot. This day is starting out with a bang. It's starting out with the activation. We're going to have that this morning. But the position of the sun when this activation occurs, it's still at 10 Cancer where it was yesterday. And that Sabian symbol, or for those of you who are new to my channel and don't know what the Sabian symbols are, they're basically like energetic depictions of any and every individual degree of the zodiac, and they describe to us how these frequencies resonate, basically, so we can have a better idea of understanding what they're trying to describe to us. So we have the Sabian symbol of the sun today for this activation. And this is important to me because we have to remember Mars is in Leo. And Leo is ruled by the sun. And so what the sun is doing today is really telling us about the nature of what's going on with Mars and Leo in his opposition to Saturn. And this degree is a large diamond in the first stages of the cutting process. And I really think that this is pretty much saying enough in terms of why this is happening. Whatever comes as a result of events transpiring because of the tensions and people being pushed to like crazy spontaneous actions and the aggression and the conflict that we might see, it's really because we are all right now being pushed to cultivate our own true internal value. And it comes back to that too because of the position where Uranus is today. And right now, Uranus in Taurus, that's really all about saying we need to get back in touch with our authentic value and our authentic relationship to what we value and our value systems and the true value that we hold inside of us, and how that is actually what creates all of the material possessions and the financial situations and everything that we attract to us in our physical life and our physical world is a manifestation of the value and the worth that we hold inside of us. So Uranus is really taking us, on a journey right now and creating a lot of things collectively and individually that are really causing us to reassess and have to redefine our relationship to our own personal value and what we value in our lives. And that is what this process is doing for us. With the sun discharging a large diamond in the first phases of the cutting process, and we're talking about Saturn, earth in pressure, opposite Mars, fire, passion, heat, that this is earth under pressure. This is earth creating diamonds, and this is what's happening right now. Any events that transpire for us individually this week, any hero's journey that we're forced to go on going forward now as a result of things that transpire, because of these energetics coming into effect, they are all pushing each and every one of us to find the diamonds and the precious stones inside of us and to chisel away at what's covering them and what's hiding them and get to the root of our true core value, our true talent, our true passion, our true potential, and cultivate that and develop that and focus on that and make our life about that and become that and utilize that to build the structures that we need in our life going forward to sustain us and create the material security, comfort, luxury, pleasure that we need in our lives. That is what this is all about. These activations, this T-square this week, the point of it is to get us to go inside and find our true value. Cultivate that, chip away at what's on the outside and bring it out. And right now we are in the first stages of the cutting process. This is not going to be something that happens overnight, but this is what is happening with these activations. And like I said, it has a whole lot to do with alchemy and the hero's journey and having to face deep pain and deep wounding and like really traumatic experiences and having them, going through them now and having them come back up so that we can see them and interact with them and face them and then heal them, and then ultimately though become the master over those experiences so that they no longer control us on a subconscious level and dictate the circumstances in our lives, and then we can move forward free and a master of that experience and be like a beacon of light and a guiding light for others who are also on a similar path, a similar hero's journey and going through the same experiences. This is a healing journey that we are going through with this activation this week. Mars, Saturn, and Chiron. We are transforming into diamonds because of the heat and the pressure that is on us right now because of these energetics. This is what the cosmos, this is what the blueprint is asking us to do. Heat and pressure, a process of deep internal transformation, but all of this heat, all of this pressure causes absolute true value, true worth, true beauty, and true mastery over this experience. Chiron, the Sabian symbol for Chiron, is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and Chiron rules everything of true value. It rules the true value in all, and is always ultimately about getting to the true value of in any experience, and again becoming the master over that experience, and then being able to use that to benefit and better your life in a multitude of ways, as well as being a teacher for others, like I said. So with these planets in effect today, and with the Sabian symbol of the sun really spelling it out, it's just it's very evident. And not only that, we are also going to be having the moon, a very important planet that says a lot about what is going on, coming into a conjunction. The moon is in Aries today and will be coming into a conjunction with Chiron and also a trine to Mars. So the moon is there as well. So it's like an internal healing, like a soul healing, like on an emotional level. We may be forced to go through some really traumatic times over the next few days, few weeks, and really face some really difficult and painful experiences, but it's so that we can get to the core of things and really find that true value and heal and master and become the creators, the co-creators of our own reality going forward, instead of being pulled along in the wake of what reality is creating for us through our unconsciousness. So You know, I really think that we're getting some very positive feedback from the Sabians today in terms of what is actually going on at the root of things here, outside of just the general kind of like scariness of the aspect itself. You know, all of us astrologers have been, you know, really not looking forward to this activation for a long time because of what it represents and what can potentially come of it. But the way I'm seeing it right now, and the way that it was kind of made clear to me this afternoon after I did my first video, it doesn't really matter, because all of this is, we're being put into like a situation for a catalyst right now. This is all about a breakthrough. This is about a breakthrough and an awakening, and really coming into contact with our true, authentic, individual value, because that is the way that the age of Aquarius will be built going forward, is each of us cultivating our own little piece of the puzzle, our own uniqueness, our own special gifts, talents, blessings, abilities, what makes us unique, what makes us the individual. I love you. Finding those and cultivating it and bringing them out and developing them so that we can contribute our piece to the overall whole, to the overall picture. And really, at the end of the day, that's the Leo Aquarian polarity dynamic anyways. I love you. That's the Leo Aquarian polarity dynamic anyways. It's all about, you know, Leo finding where we shine, finding our gifts, finding our talents, finding our abilities, finding what makes us special, individual, unique, and developing that, bringing them out, cultivating it, growing it, shining the light on it. And then once we become the best at what we are meant to be as an individual, giving that back to the overall whole, to fill a gap, to fill a void, to fill a space that's missing in the overall picture of things that only our little piece of the puzzle can fill. And because of that, there's even more cohesion and sustainability and function in the overall group. And that is what the age of Aquarius is going to look like, much more than what it has now. You know, we've been in the age of Pisces, and that was all about, you know, schooling and needing a leader and needing to follow a leader and needing someone in an authority position to tell us what to do and how to live and what to believe and what to think, and, you know, how to exist in all aspects of life. And we're moving into the age of Aquarius, and that is the age of knowledge and this age of self-empowerment and the age of true spiritual authenticity and wisdom and understanding and connection, and you know, what is truly authentically in the best interest of the greater good, and, you know, the greater good coming together on like a telepathic and an intuitive level. And the way that we are having to get there now is through going through this climax week, going through this breakthrough, being pushed to the place where we are forced to make these changes, and to, it's like the seed breaking through the soil, like to break through into the next level. That's where this is trying to take us. It's refining us, it's putting pressure, it's putting heat, so that we can start to carve away at the outer shell and find the true value, the diamond underneath. That is what I feel like this whole thing is really coming down to, and is really ultimately about, especially with the moon conjuncting Chiron today for this activation. The healing process, the hero's journey, alchemy, mastering ourselves and mastering reality, and that truly is the diamond that we are trying to find within ourselves, the mastery over ourselves and our own experience, and that ability then to create our own reality through our own gifts, our own blessings, our own talents. So this is really how I'm seeing this individually and on a collective scale. It's a refinement process. We're under pressure, and we're going through a massive transformation. Now, just some other quick themes that I want to mention that we could see playing out. I mean, Mars and Saturn, that's also authority versus like youth. Mars rules like more youthful generations versus more like long-standing in power authority. So we could see some type of protests or rebellions or something going on from like very youthful or more youthful and passionate like warriors, basically up against a long-standing authority or a power dynamic that's been in place for a long period of time. Mars also rules police, so we may see, and this could also manifest as like police turning against or not wanting to follow the orders of the authority that is giving them their orders, stuff like that. Also today we have, it's interesting because of the Sabian symbols of the degrees of Mars and Saturn themselves. Mars is at an old sea captain rocking on the porch of his cottage. So this is very much about reflecting on our adventures, reflecting on our experiences, thinking about everything that we've been through, and kind of reminiscing and a little bit of like nostalgia and kind of just like thinking about our past life, our old life, and what all we got and experienced through enduring every challenge and every high point along the way. It's really kind of taking into account and taking a measure on our experiences, our overall experiences. And then Saturn is at 13 degrees Aquarius, a barometer, measuring the pressure of things. So these two planets even are talking about, you know, we're still in like a processing period, and we're reflecting on where we've been, what we've done, what our experiences have been, what our adventures have been like, and how we feel about them now. And Saturn is checking the pressure and making sure that we can withstand the tensions of the current environment. And again, with the sun today at a large diamond in the first stages of the cutting process, speaking to what's going on with Mars, that is really, I feel like, the overall theme of what's going on and what we're doing today. Venus today is at 6 degrees of Leo, an old-fashioned woman and a flapper. And so, you know, Venus is ruling the position of Uranus right now. So I do think also, and this again goes back to like the Mars-Saturn dynamic, because that is also like youth versus authority or older generations of people. And now we also have the position of Venus today, an old-fashioned woman and a flapper. And that is kind of like a conflict of between how things have been and how they are becoming. And also a clash between the old established ways of doing things and the new ways of doing things that are incoming now, and, you know, a little bit different and receiving, you know, maybe possibly some resistance. So definitely with this, some type of clash between established ideas, established ways of being, and also what's new, what's coming up now, and the more youthful approach and spin on things, and the resistance to that sort of from this more dated perspective. Also, we have Mercury at 20 Gemini today, a cafeteria with an abundance of choices. So it's possible that there may be a lot of narratives, a lot of spins, a lot of ideas, a lot of perspectives, a lot of options and ways of viewing whatever transpires with this activation today and over the next few days. So again, you know, we're just going to want to be careful about what we're believing, what version of reality we're believing, what side of the story that we're taking, and we want to follow our intuition and our gut instincts when we decide that, because of the square to Neptune, and because we've just been being really called lately to really more so navigate this current reality through our internal guidance system, our connection to our higher self, our intuitive hunches and urges, and letting them sort of guide us along the path as we're inundated with all of this information that may or, you know, may not really be accurate right now, but we're gaining more clarity. And I do think that a lot of the information that is coming out right now is going to be playing a role in a lot of these tensions that are transpiring over this next few days into the weekend and then into next week. But overall, you know, really what this comes down to as this is a process of alchemization that we're going through right now. We are transforming from a base metal into a precious metal on a soul level with the moon. And that's what is happening. We have the pressure, we have the heat, and we have the sun talking about a large diamond in the first stages of the cutting process. So at the end of the day, that is the moral of the story. And there's really not much else that I need to say about these energetics. If you want to see how they're going to be playing out for you personally, again, like I said, check my sign by sign video. Check your ascendant sign first, because that will be most accurate, because that's the way that I did it in terms of how the houses break down by planet. But sun and moon will also give you some clarity in terms of the internal way that this is functioning for you, and also other ways that it may be affecting you in other aspects of your life. So that's what I have today for our step one of the climax week, the Mars exact opposition to Saturn at 9 a.m. this morning. So if you guys liked my video, please give me a thumbs up. I hope I was able to provide some information that is helpful to you guys as we go through these energetics. Please share this video with your friends if you think it would be interesting to them. Subscribe to my channel. Leave me comments. I love you guys' comments. Ring the bell if you want notifications every time I upload a video. And I will see you guys back here tomorrow for my video for the weekend and what we have to look forward to as Mars moves out of opposition with Saturn on Saturday and into exact square with Uranus. Shocks and surprises are waiting for us, and we really just kind of want to try to keep a handle on our emotions and most definitely and especially our ego over this week. Operate out of the heart, not out of the ego. Leo has two polarities: the unconditional love, the pure heart energy, and also the like very narcissistic ego type energies. It's not all about the self, it's all about what we can do to defend others that we love and to make it so that everybody can experience that love and that freedom of self-expression and the passion and the joy and enthusiasm for life. So that's what I have today, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.